from Maine and a refusal to ban trans athletes from girls and women's sports, as President Trump has demanded, with Maine saying he is the one on the wrong side of the law. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Greg Lagerquist.
And I'm Stephanie Greely. Thank you for joining us. Last week, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services found Greely High School, the Maine Department of Education, and Maine Principals Association in violation of Title IX for allowing trans students to compete in high school sports.
CBS 13's Brad Rogers joining us live tonight. And Brad, they were given 10 days to comply or risk some unspecified further action, and that deadline is now.
Yeah, right, Greg. The Maine Principals Association, the governor, and now the Greely School Board have all now said that they have no intention of complying with President Trump's attempt to ban trans athletes. The question now is, how will the Trump administration respond? The federal DHHS Office of Civil Rights found Maine in violation of Title IX by denying female student athletes an equal opportunity to participate without heightened safety or competitive concerns. It also cited Greely for fielding a female-only team with a male athlete, the feds refusing to recognize the Greely student as transgender. President Trump has threatened to cut federal school funding to Maine if the state refuses to comply. Governor Mills says Trump cannot cut school funding, and neither can she.
I couldn't then say, well, I disagree with you on that, so I'm going to you're not going to get any more state funding for education, no more GPA. I couldn't do that. This is about the rule of law.
Governor Mills says agreeing to Trump's executive order would mean breaking federal and state laws which recognize trans students and prohibits discrimination against them. Republican state lawmaker Laurel Libby posted photos of the Greely minor and argued on multiple national media outlets that trans athletes should be banned from girls' sports.
We need to ensure that our girls have a safe, fair, and level playing field. And it's time for Governor Mills to do the right thing so that we don't lose hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what's at stake here.
The Greely School Board issued a statement today saying MSAD 51 will not be agreeing to the proposed voluntary resolution agreement sent to our district. The school district will continue to follow state law and the Maine Human Rights Act. The federal DHHS office has threatened to refer this to the Justice Department for appropriate action if Maine does not comply. We don't know what enforcement action the Justice Department might take.
The President of the United States to picking on a very vulnerable population. These few girls are just trying to be students and have fun and be competitive just like anybody else. No one is losing in this when all kids get to play.
Now, today was the first of two deadlines. The Maine Department of Education still has 2 days to respond. New at 6, how the trans community here in Maine what they have to say about all this. We're live in Portland. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News.
All right, Brad, thank you. We wait to hear from the Trump administration, and that brings us to our question of the day. Should federal funding be pulled from the states that don't follow President Trump's transgender athletics guidelines? To answer, grab your phone, open your camera, and scan the QR code right there on your screen.
And